What happens when a confident political talking point runs straight into a live fact check? That's exactly what you're about to see. In this clip, a MAGA influencer makes a bold claim only for British journalist Victoria Derbyshire to challenge it in real time with some tough questions and sharp fact checking. Before we dive into the full story, comment where you're watching from, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Let's watch the full exchange first, and then we'll break down exactly what happened and why this moment is getting so much attention.
Republican strategist Angie Wong. Can you help us? What do you think President Trump's next move is?
Well, I don't believe that President Trump is an imperialist. I think he definitely wants to make a deal here. And as your speakers have said, he is the art of the deal president, and he has long been known to throw out the most extreme, most outrageous deals just to see what everyone's reactions will be and who's going to be pushing back. And in this case, he's seen almost everyone in the EU push back on this.
And forgive me, Angie Wong, he may also have seen President Putin be absolutely delighted about what's going on, because it potentially is a split between the US and its allies in NATO and in Europe. The only person happy at the moment is Vladimir Putin.
Well, he could be seeing it that way, or he could be seeing it as Putin getting isolated. Remember all the other geopolitical movements that have been made in the last few weeks. We have secured Venezuela. We're going after Cuba now.
You haven't secured Venezuela. I'm sorry, you have not secured Venezuela. It's the same regime. It's just a different person in charge.
And the Trump administration is all over the former vice president, now interim president there. So there's been a lot of movement. It could very well be, at the end of the day, when the historians write this book, that we are actually trying to isolate Putin and cut off any sort of money pipelines, any sort of trade pipelines. Remember, all of this deal, yes, we're talking about rare earth minerals, we're talking about national security for the U.S., but we're also talking about the Polar Silk Road. If the U.S. can control that shipping lane, along with the Panama Canal, we essentially then can control the Western Hemisphere as far as trade and shipping goes.
I'm so sorry. I just wanted to ask you, why do you think President Trump wants to own Greenland when you know you've got this treaty, the 1951 Defence Treaty between Greenland/Denmark and the US? It allows you to deploy thousands more US troops there, to build more bases. During the Cold War, there were something like 15,000 US troops there. There's now about 200. Why do you have to actually own it? Why can't you work with them to send a load more US troops?
Well, the messaging here is that President Trump wants to build the Golden Dome, which is a $175 billion project, very similar to what Israel has. And he needs Greenland and the seas around it to do so. Now, it's not impossible. It's never been heard of before that we do annex and purchase lands. We did that with Alaska. We did that with the Louisiana Purchase, the Mexican secession, and other places. So this is part of that. But we're not going in with troops. That's a very far-fetched idea that we would go in with military force. I think President Trump really does want to make a deal.
Just one more thought. Donald Trump said in that exchange with Norway's Prime Minister, he wants complete and total control of Greenland. If he can threaten a NATO ally to surrender territory, and other allies, that if they don't come to a deal, tariffs will be imposed upon them, does that mean NATO is effectively dead?
I don't think I think there's a lot of pressuring. There's a lot of positioning right now. Even the U.S. senators have come out over the weekend to tell President Trump, if you invade Greenland with military force, you will be impeached. So he is feeling the pressure from everybody right now. And
that's interesting. Sorry, Angie, I'm just because one of our guests is agreeing with that.
This exchange is a good example of what happens when political talking points run into tough questioning. The strategist tried to present the situation in Venezuela as a success, but Victoria Derbyshire immediately challenged the claim, pointing out that the reality was far more complicated than the simple narrative being presented. That's what made this interview stand out. Instead of letting broad claims go unchallenged, Derbyshire kept pressing for evidence and specific answers, refusing to move on until the claims were properly addressed. Moments like this are why the clip has attracted so much attention. It wasn't just a political debate, it was a live test of competing narratives, with each side forced to defend its position under pressure. Let me know what you thought of the exchange in the comments. And if you enjoy political commentary and breakdowns like this, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one.